Good morning, Viewpoint, your program of personalities, politicians, and perspectives. Think it'll rain today?
Nah, it's actually a good day for a duck.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, in any event, we have a personality, and we certainly have perspectives this morning. This morning, my pleasure to have as my sidekick Mrs. Busby's daughter, Cynthia. Cinth, thanks once again for stepping into Mother's spot there. You've got big shoes to fill. Not that her shoes are big.
Her shoes aren't as big as mine, but it's quite a person to follow. So I'll try to do my best, and thank you for having me.
Well, it's a joy always to have sit here taking care of your mother's place here. Kudos. As Cynthia remembers, we always try to start Viewpoint with a kudo or two. There are some volunteers, and unfortunately a few volunteers, working together for Lincoln, coming up very soon. Our hats off to those folks who do give of their time. Since I'm going to pass that baton to you on that, because you and I were visiting on the radio, on the car coming up, that you're short of volunteers. You want to address that?
We're short of volunteers and crew chiefs. September 21st, which is this Sunday, Together for Lincoln is a lot of the churches, in fact, it might be all of them in Lincoln, who get together and do service projects for people who can't do them themselves, and they need crew chiefs who will call their team to come and do whatever the project is, whether it's washing windows or painting or repairing a deck, whatever the homeowner needs.
Or putting on a new door if they have it.
Or putting on a new door. So, again, most churches are involved. If you call your local church office, there should be somebody spearheading it, and please volunteer. This is the 6th or 7th year, and it is an awesome thing to do. It really is. It makes you feel good.
Yes, I remember the first time I volunteered since several years ago, and the first thing I found myself was on the top of a ladder painting, and I thought, should I be doing this at this age? In any event, it is a worthwhile project, and they're really hurting for volunteers, as I understand it. So, with whom would they get in touch, Sense?
Your local church office. I don't know who's spearheading it this year.
Well, in our case, at the Episcopalian Church, it's Jackie West, and she has made it abundantly clear several times that we are indeed short of people. But probably what it is we're an older congregation in our church, and we're short of able bodies.
We have that problem at our church.
Yeah, right. Public announcement. Mr. Ash has been on the air very kindly, remarking and telling us about the grand opening of the Creekside Environmental Center. That's the environmental center under the flag of Lincoln College. It's out here north of town. You go north from Bell Station just a little ways, and there'll be signs out there. That's one way to get there. Another way to get there is go through Nicholson Road and then turn west, and I can't tell you in which road, but there'll be signs. This from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The ribbon cutting, official ribbon cutting, going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. Creekside is the brainchild and also the birth child of Dr. Campbell up there. He's done a wonderful job. Dennis has had this as an idea as an environmental studies center, and my goodness, the man has put in untold personal hours up there, and might add some of his own treasure, and he's just almost so enthusiastic about this that it's hard to fathom. We have created a rather unique study center up there, and for those of you who are in the community, make time to go up there this Saturday, the 13th. Grand opening will be, the ribbon cutting is going to be there at 10 o'clock, and it'll be a nice experience and an eye-opening experience for some of you folks. Now, there's another one that I wanted to mention here that had to do with, Mr. Ash has also been helping out on that, and I'm looking for my notes. It had to do with, what did I do with my notes here, Jim? My goodness gracious. The Oasis
I have
is having a, no wonder. I gave it. Well, what day is it?
Okay, Saturday you can go to the ribbon cutting at Creekside.
Stumbling around here like an old fool.
And then on Sunday from 8 to 11, we're having a grandparents' breakfast and pie auction at the Oasis Senior Citizens Center. And for $7, you get bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, hash brown, biscuits and gravy, a fruit cup, orange juice, and coffee. Think about going out there for grandparents' breakfast.
Well, if I was a grandparent, I'd think more seriously about that. But
Or a great-grandparent.
Oh, well, that's another thing that I can go as a great-grandparent. How many of you out there have 7 great-grands? I kind of think I'm a little proud of that. Okay, I think those are the public announcements that we needed to be sure and make. Creekside this Saturday, nice experience for everybody. Hope this today's weather will abate a little bit, and then the grandparents' breakfast. So, Cynthia, why don't you introduce our guest this morning?
We have Josh Slightom, who is here to discuss Wolfstock, which is the 3rd annual, and it's coming up September 20th, which would be a week from Saturday.
Well, you better explain what Wolfstock is, kid.
I think we'll let Josh do that.
Some people will talk about thinking we're smoking dope out here. That's Woodstock, wasn't it?
That was Woodstock. Yeah, I am Josh Slightom with Anytime Fitness, and I described Wolfstock with the other day to somebody with the description of there's a little bit more deodorant and a little bit less smoke. So Wolfstock is actually a little bit of an idea that I came up with to be involved in the community. As I opened up Anytime Fitness, I knew one thing that we wanted to do in Lincoln, and that was set ourselves apart from businesses that are not integrated into the community, and also we wanted to give back and let people know that what kind of character we had. So the passion came from a kind of a long line there. My great aunt, Lorraine Jackson in Beneld, Illinois, has an adopt-a-pet shelter.
Even today?
Even today, at 89 years old.
Oh my!
Yeah, she's running up there with you. So she, in her life, and actually the St. Louis Rams honored her. She, in her life, has placed over 28,000 animals.
That's something to live up to.
This lady has placed 28,000
animals. Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's pretty remarkable.
Yes, indeed. So I've got some. We were talking about big shoes to fill earlier there. I've definitely got some shoes to fill in her honor, and she's still living and going at it. So. What we did was we decided to come up with a little bit of an idea to get people up and moving first and foremost, because we are a fitness center. We wanted to have that as a little bit of a motive. And then we wanted to also engage people's philanthropic sides and get them excited about donating to a charity, and that charity is the Humane Society of Logan County. So we had our first year out at Kickapoo Park, and people brought their dogs and their kids and their kids' dogs and their dogs' kids out to the park, and we basically had a little bit of a festival. We had some food and drink and fellowship, and everybody get to admire dogs. And you know, I kind of know that there's 2 things that people like to show off most or talk about. It's their kids and their pets.
That's very, very true.
So they got to do both at this event.
Let me tell you about my grandchildren.
So we raised about $1,000 for them the first year. Had a great turnout.
Remarkable.
Yeah, and the community really opened up to it, and I think has taken a great liking to it. So we're happy to be able to do it again. It's our 3rd year. We have fitness contest for the kids. One thing we wanted to do was instill a little bit of activity and wellness in children, get them thinking about it at an early age. And also there's a lot of contests, and local business owners and merchants and vendors come out and set up a booth and get to introduce themselves to a quite a nice community of individuals. The people that come out to this event are, active. They're active in the community. They're family oriented, and they're wanting to give to a charity. So that's a good group to be around as a business owner.
You mentioned booth, display booth and so forth. Tell us a little bit about that. What do they consist in? And if somebody's interested, how would they go about getting a booth?
Very well, good question. So, we invite local businesses or anyone. You don't have to be a business person. There are individuals who have home businesses. There are individuals who are new to the community that just opened up a business that would like to let the community know that they exist. Mm-hmm. And so what they do is for a small donation to the Humane Society, 100% of anything generated goes directly to the Humane Society of Logan County, right here local.
Okay.
They can have a small donation, come out and set up we have allocated spots for them at Latham Park this year. We've moved uptown to Latham Park there. And they'll be able to set up their displays, information regarding their products, services, or whatever it is that they do or represent. And a lot of them have noticed some good gains. The ones that did come last year spoke very highly that they did gain business off of that. And how they'd get involved with that is they'd call me directly. My
number?
Personal line is 217-671-8383. That's 671-8383. Mm-hmm. And we'd be glad to have anybody on board. We've got quite a variance of individuals from different sectors of the community. We have insurance agents. New guy in town, Steve Harvey with Country Insurance, is a big sponsor this year. We have the Lincoln Dental Center, Blades Hair and Nail Salon. I mean, there are a lot of different niches of business that want to come out and be in front of, kind of the way I talk about it is, look, you're going to be in front of family, pet-loving, philanthropic individuals. Now, that's everyone's perspective.
Well, now specifically, let's say, Mrs. Bowns, I've collected a fair amount of CDs from producing this Sunday morning jazz show that we do. Let's say I wanted to sell those CDs, just for a point of reference here. How much would it cost me for a booth to do that? Or how much would it cost an individual that he wants to sell something like taffy that he's made in his basement or something like that?
Sure. As little as $50.
As little as $50.
Little as $50. People can give more.
And that goes directly. That's not a promotional fee. That goes directly to Humane.
That goes directly to the Humane Society of Logan County, right here local. There's animals that they house. Obviously, they're trying to save some animals.
Well, they do a great job.
They do, and those animals need to be fed and watered and cared for and vaccinated and spayed and neutered and things like that. So that goes directly to maintaining and that building. They've got a wonderful facility out there. I don't know if you've been through it.
It's a very nice facility, and I do know they also accept cans that they can cash in, so they have money for, like you say, food, vet expenses. And
so this Saturday, not this Saturday, but September the 20th, it's going to be from 10 to 3, according to the flyer I have in front of me. You're going to be serving ribeyes and have a little wine tasting.
Indeed.
How'd you get by with that in a public park?
Well,
oh, well, probably
cover's blown.
Probably should have kept that elephant out of the room.
I don't know, wine tasting at 10 in the morning?
Yeah, well, that wouldn't do for me.
Well, right. We'll get the party started right.
Kids game and live music. Going to have
and you're going to have some raffle items.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the way we generate a lot of the funds is local businesses are superbly generous in donating items. Our friend, Bill, that we talked about this morning, South Polis with Edward Jones Investments, he has donated a brand new Nike golf bag, and we have 18 holes with a cart at North Greens Golf Course right up the road here. And Jake's Furnishings donates some furnishings every year. Jake's a big supporter of ours. the local hotels, and David Landerman has put together a little mini vacation package.
Oh, nice.
So there are all kinds of things that can be, you purchase a chance to win those. And Anytime Fitness is giving away one full year membership. We're looking at between $300 and $500 value at most of those prizes. So for as little as a $5 raffle ticket, you can win something up to $500. So it's
That's pretty good payoff.
quite a nice opportunity.
That's a good return on your investment.
Indeed, I wish all of our
yes, Mr.
money
Polis
did
ought to
that.
know more about that for his clients.
We may have to talk to him, see if we can get something like that.
Now you're going to have you're inviting the pets to come. Do you have different categories for pets and so forth?
Are there prizes, parades?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Because I can just see these little kids with their dogs on their leash, and they got to have something.
They do. They have something to do. There's activities for kids, and while the parents are kind of shopping and mixing about, the children, what we've done in the last 2 years, and we're going to do again this year, is and it's quite a treat. We ought to actually invite Jeff Maxwell here to do this. It's a hula hoop contest.
I'd pay money to watch Jeff do that.
I think that might generate a little
I'm
bit
not
of buzz.
sure I'd pay a nickel for that.
So the little girls do a hula hoop contest. The longest person that can hula hoop. Some of the prizes we've given away. I think this year we have a new bicycle. Bennett Builders right here in town has been generous enough to donate brand new bicycle, children's
Good for them.
bicycle. Yes, and thank Jude Bennett for that. And the boys, girls, boys can hula hoop. Any kids. There's hula hoop contest and a push-up competition. So whoever does the most push-ups, there's different age categories for that.
Now that gets me now. Now there's a geriatrics. Do you have a geriatrics age?
Not yet, but we can make one.
Something that starts somewhere around 85 and up.
I'm out of that one.
We could definitely make one. I'm not sure what the prize would be.
Well, nobody be able to use it anyway.
And then the animals. You asked about what the animals do. So there are contests for dogs. Those start around noon. So if you listening have an animal that you want to show off, some of the prize category or the competition categories are biggest dog. Last year we had a gigantic Great Dane, of course. Those kind of take the cake usually on the big dog category. Smallest dog, ugliest dog. We do have an ugliest. I'm not sure if that's winning or losing there, but we do have an ugliest dog category.
In the eyes of the beholder.
Indeed. We have cutest dog, of course, and then our favorite category, or at least mine, is the owner look-alike. And again, I speculate whether you're winning or losing there, but so
I'm not going there.
yeah, we've had a lot of fun with it in the past. We have some celebrity judges, local recognizable people judging this year. Miss Mary Kelly and Joe Ryan and Andy Hake have judged in the past. Some recognizable names here in the community, and we have a lot of fun with it.
I have a category. We could enter Murphy, and he's a hands-on cinch to win. Barkingest dog.
Barkingest dog.
Drive me nuts.
Yeah, Murphy would win that hands down. All right. You're also going to feed them there.
Indeed.
And those sandwiches are for sale there.
Correct.
Now, who is promoting the food, purveying the food for you?
Well, we have a couple different options this year, and this year our food lineup's going to be the best it's been. Brad Luckhart, I don't know if everybody knows Brad, with Nuthatch Hill. He's Competition Barbecue. He reached out to me and has been more than generous in donating his time. And as we all know, anybody who's ever cooked or smoked anything, chicken and pork, we'll have smoked chicken and pulled pork sandwiches. That takes a lot of time and setup and energy. So he's donated that to us. And then you guys mentioned the Oasis. The Oasis the same day is selling ribeye sandwiches down at IGA. So we'll import some of those in and over and kind of partner up with the Oasis.
Well, that's a neat thing.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that way both can benefit. The wolf stock isn't just about helping the Humane Society. It's about giving people an inspiration to help, period. As a matter of fact, when you mentioned the volunteer recruitment for Together for Lincoln, I kind of thought that, heck, we ought to have an information center that promotes that. It's the following day. Let everybody know about it. So if we can get some flyers or something, some of the people that are at Wolfstock, maybe we can get them doing a little labor the next day.
Would you consider a contribution of a booth space for like Habitat for the Humanity, which is also another great charity?
Sure.
And Together for Lincoln?
Sure. Anybody in the non-for-profit humanitarian sector, we try to accommodate them as much as possible. Yeah.
We have some accommodations to make here in the studio too, Josh. It's called sponsorship, and if we don't accommodate those rascals, we're going to cut the off switch. So go right ahead, Mr. Ash. And right back here live in the studios here, the dry studios. Not so dry outside. Well, temporarily dry anyway. WLCN 96.3 on your dial. The program is Viewpoint. Our guest this morning is Josh Slightom, and my sidekick's daughter, Judy Busby's daughter, Since. Again, Since, I appreciate your being with us this morning. 648-5510. We're discussing a project of the Anytime Fitness organization that has to do with Wolfstock, and that it would be WOF as opposed to Woodstock. So it will be all above board and everything will be fine. The dogs won't be smoking grass. They may be scratching in the grass. Judy, since you had a question that you wanted to pose
I
to
did.
Josh.
We talked about we're going to have, pets and people and sandwiches and wine tasting and games and whatnot. We also know that there's a lot of animals at the Humane Society who need a forever home. Is there going to be adoption available on the day of Wolfstock?
Great point, yes. Not only can you take home a sandwich, you can also take home a dog and a sandwich for your dog, for your brand new dog. There will be pets available there for adoption, and that's a great point you bring up. Let's don't forget the whole premise and motive behind the Humane Society is to find forever homes for these animals. Every time I visit the shelter, I want to take one or two home with me. Unfortunately, I already have a couple, including myself.
Yeah, that's the problem. You go visit there, and and that
it
urge
about break
to
your
do
heart.
that.
Yeah,
that urge to do
If
that
I
is always
worked
strong.
there, I would have to move out to the country because I would own too much.
Yeah, it is, and they have some wonderful pets in there. There's some wonderful people in there taking care of them.
They
A lot
sure
of they
are.
volunteer their time, and I admire the heck out of them for doing that. There will be representatives from the Humane Society there that day with animals up for adoption.
I assume cats and dogs.
Cats. I don't know how many cats there will be with a park full of dogs.
Well, that's quite true.
They might
Could be interesting.
the proverbial cats and hiding and dogs thing there, but there will be a lot of information. There will be booths for the pet cemetery the Humane Society has, and then the Humane Society will have another adoption booth also for information regarding that.
I'd just like to make a comment, personal comment, if you will, please, since driving by with his mother and I last week after the program, and I said to Mother, this really looks nice as you went by that area, how that's developed, and aesthetically, it's very pleasing looking out there. It's quite
Yes,
nice.
it is. Yes, it is.
So hats off to all those folks who have been so involved in that. Is there anything else you need to talk about on as far as Wolfstock is concerned now?
Yeah, I did omit one thing. We spoke earlier of the dog contest, and this is one of usually the crowd favorite. It's a best trick competition. We have some talented dogs, sometimes just more talented than the owners, it seems. These dogs are getting smarter. They sure do some wonderful things. And so we encourage anybody who has a dog that can sit, do arithmetic, run a calculator, play the piano, whatever it is that these wonderful animals are able to do now, to bring them out and let us see. The kids really enjoy that best trick competition.
Muffy would be good if you just say bark.
That's all you got to do.
That's a trick.
He didn't
Stop barking might be the trick.
He wouldn't have hands down.
So
Go ahead, honey.
recapping again, it's Saturday, the 20th. One other thing we have going on in conjunction with Wolfstock is each year Anytime Fitness sponsors a group of bike riders who ride for basically they ride to awareness about child abuse out of McLean County, and they're coming from Bloomington, I believe, to St. Louis this year.
Really?
They'll be
Oh,
riding.
that's a
Last year they
long
went
ride.
from Chicago to St. Louis. They've condensed the ride a little bit this year. There are bicyclists, about 50 of them, that will be riding to, that last year it was Stop the Cycle of Abuse for child abuse, and this year they'll be riding through, same day as Wolfstock. They'll make a stop right there at Latham Park. So anybody who's a bike rider or supports the awareness of children, abused children, would like to come out and support those riders, they'll make a pit stop right at Wolfstock. So it'll be nice to have them also.
Well, that's a neat thing, and it basically goes hand in hand, kids and pets.
Indeed, yeah, and trying to give back. You know, I don't think the community and we people get lost in bills and budgets and family, our own stuff. Everyday things, and we forget that there's a bigger picture. That the reason we exist is to help our fellow humans. In my opinion.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Just speaking of bike riders, since I mentioned this when Mother and I were together here a week or two ago, in Atlanta at their big celebration recently, and bumped into a fellow who was riding a bike. Again, it's this Route 66 thing, you know. But anyway, he was riding a bike from Presque Isle, Maine to San Diego. You can't get no further northeast and southwest than that. This gentleman was a solo, and he had his bike with a little bitty trailer and generator, flashing lights, and so forth, so for safety. And I had a short visit with him. It was a fascinating visit with him, this gentleman. Presque Isle to San Diego.
That takes quite a bit of courage to embark on that journey, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Silver Slipper. You mentioned that. We were discussing that. Tell us what Silver Slipper is, and don't talk us about Cinderella or anything like that.
Well, with this semi-tornadic activity, we might be talking about slippers and Toto here for some time. But
Toto might be flying through.
It's Silver Sneaker.
Sneakers,
Sneakers, yes, Silver Sneaker. Silver Sneakers is a program that a lot of seniors qualify for through their insurance. And I wanted to bring that up today because as much as insurance premiums are, and as much as we pay into them over our lives, I think it's a service that people ought to know about, because insurance companies are giving kind of a kickback, a little bit of an incentive to go get healthy, stay healthy. That program is called Silver Sneakers. A lot of retired teachers and state employees qualify for it because of their insurance. Some of the United Healthcare is one of
But
the...
they have to be retired.
They do not have to be retired. They have to have the certain insurance, which could be Humana or United Healthcare. Those are two of the main ones. But you can call Anytime Fitness anytime at 732-1155, and we'll be glad to check eligibility right over the phone. And it's a free program. They actually can join Anytime Fitness and have a 24-hour access to our club free. And kind of the nuts and bolts behind it is insurance companies, of course, they're numbers people, obviously. They know for every $1 they spend on your wellness or the insured's wellness, they save $3 in health care. So, you know, the theology...
What would this modus operandi be, or the way this thing works? Would that be available for other gyms around the country, that type of thing? Just to come off the name of the big franchise, of course, would be Gold's in bigger cities and so forth. Would people in those areas qualify for that? Do you think?
Yes, some. You have to be a participating facility. So
I see.
Some facilities are within that network and have the reporting capabilities by which to engage in that program. We are lucky to be in as Anytime Fitness has over 2,500 locations across the United States. And if any member joins, and a lot of our snowbirds that we have come in, They use our club up here in Lincoln. They go down to Texas or Florida for the winter. Their 24-hour access key works right at any club nationwide. Matter of fact, I had a lady in the other day. She said she was moving. Wasn't sure if she wanted to join. I asked where she was moving to, and she said she was moving to Scotland. And
Really?
And we have clubs in across the water. So we're all over Australia, Canada, U.S. There's Anytime Fitness is one of the fastest growing fitness franchises in the world. So wonderful options there. But what it allows is seniors, especially in the winter. I have a grandmother down in Carlinville, 80-some years old. I won't give the rest of the story there, as she probably would request. But in the wintertime, she sits around, and obviously it's hard to get out and worry about falling down, but you can drive right up to the door. We actually have somebody even help you in. We keep our walks nice and clean. Walk right in and get a little activity. We have trainers to help seniors, show them what to do and kind of give them some extra things to do, and that's a free program.
Now, you mentioned the silver sneakers. Can a fellow show up with a pair of black kids?
We don't...
High top Converse.
Could I, yes, could I bring in my red Converse shoes?
You can come in barefoot if you like. We'll as long as your hygiene's proper, right?
Well, I didn't want to just know that you had to restrict it to simply silver.
No, you don't actually have to wear silver sneakers. That's we wouldn't want to take that literally, but it's a wonderful program. The Oasis just recently embarked in a Curves. I don't know if y'all know Curves. It unfortunately closed down, and a lot of the more mature adults that went there, ladies that went there, came over to Anytime Fitness. Some went to the Oasis. We actually, Anytime Fitness with some private citizens donated some of the equipment from Curves to the Oasis for the seniors to be able to use. We have an instructor that goes out there and kind of teaches seniors how to use the machines. Some of them, they had about 80 people sign up out there at the Oasis. So
yeah, this is, when they
awesome.
moved, the expansion of the activities of the Oasis has just kind of gone exponentially from the time they opened the place up out on Route 10 there.
I think it helped that they had space to go.
Yeah, they've done a remarkable job out there. They just they work hard to make things nice for the folks who go out there and use those facilities.
It's wonderful.
If I ever get older one of these days, I'm going to go out there. But
You can never fit it into your schedule.
I haven't reached that schedule yet. So.
Hang in there. It may be coming down the road sometime.
Go back here go ahead, Cynthia. I think you were about to do something.
Yeah, this is another derailment issue.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so just I went away to my happy place briefly. That happens.
Okay, all right. Well,
shiny objects.
Mother does that a lot, and so do I. We just sit there and look at one another.
Okay, but you're older than I am. I shouldn't do that.
Let's go back. Let's seg back to Wolfstock, if you will, please, Josh. Do you have to sign up in advance to bring these pets there?
No, sir. It's a completely free event. Starts at 10 o'clock next Saturday, the 20th, at Latham Park. Show up unannounced or announced, whichever you prefer. There is it's a 100% free program. You just bring your dog. All pets must be collared and leashed, obviously.
Well, obviously.
And some kids, I think, need to be also, but that's another day's topic.
Some parents do too.
It is a completely cost-free day. If you want to buy a sandwich, you can, but you don't need any money if you don't want to bring any. But we encourage people to come buy a sandwich because these things are going to be real good. We have everything from a 2-pound toy poodle and miniature chihuahuas to 180-pound English Mastiff dogs. One other thing I wanted to bring up, we had this year, I used a little bit of my carpenter skills and built a puppy kissing booth, which my own dog,
Hello?
yes, Smooch-a-Pooch it's called. And for $1, you can come smooch a pooch. His name is Angus. He's a 2-year-old Puvanese, Poodle and Havanese mix, and he's kind of the Anytime Fitness greeter. Anytime you come to Anytime Fitness, you'll see our 2 dogs, Clover and Angus. They're in there working pretty cheaply as greeters, and people really enjoy to get to see them. You can come smooch Angus for $1. That goes again to the Humane Society of Logan County. There's just going to be a fun day. Last year when I sat there with a glass of wine, and the wine we didn't quite talk about, but comes from, are you familiar with Hometown Wine and Spirits over at Delavan?
No, sir, I'm not.
No. Wonderful little place they have over there at Delavan. They've got the Harvest Cafe, and Hometown Wine and Spirits is adjacent to that.
I see.
Very, very nice products, kind of an Art Deco, eclectic environment. Great little getaway for anybody wanting a 15 or 20-minute drive to go have.
It's not that far.
No, it's wonderful. They provide free wine tasting. So,
thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
Go with your ribeye sandwich.
Ribeye sandwich.
After you've had a kiss from the dog, Angus.
Somehow that
it's a big day.
I've been pretty enthused about this whole project, except that particular phase of it.
Well, you can omit that.
That kind of lost me on that.
We'll put you in the kissing booth, maybe.
Well, now I'm getting interested.
It's going to be more than $1, though, right?
We can charge premium for that.
Go ahead. I thought to say something.
Well, I was just going to do a little recap about this wolf stock because it's so important. You know, we've got these critters at the Humane Society who need a home, and in the interim, they need food, they need water, they need vet. That's what this is for, and we've got lovely raffle items. We've got the sandwiches and the wine. We've got games. We've got contests, the look-alike, the hula hoop, the kissing of Angus. This is going to be a family day from 10 to 3. It's not even, take a little time out of your day and go up there. There'll be booths. There'll be vendors.
Absolutely.
It's a way to give back to the community. There'll be adoption available.
Yes. And sorry, Bill, one of the things that the reasons, not only am I an animal lover, but one of the reasons that I validated giving to the Humane Society was that kind of the little slogan I used was, no pets' woes are self-inflicted.
There's that to be said.
These animals are not sitting in a cage because of something they did. So I think it's our job to go rescue them and make sure that they live happy lives. Every pet in my mind deserves to have a little bit of love, just as any human would.
Well, and on the flip side of that coin, we talked about the bicyclers from Bloomington who are going to be riding in support of abused children, and it's kind of the same as the pets.
Really kind of a synergistic relationship there, isn't it? Yeah.
So.
It's hard to believe, but there are some people out here that walk on this earth that really don't like animals, period. I mean, dogs, cats, horses, whatever. They just are not animal people. And they're the poorer for that, but those are the facts. There are other people who just really, some people just...
Unless it's Murphy.
Well, no, Murphy and I get along fine. He's all right. Wrap up. About time to wrap this thing up. Do you have any comments, since that you would like to make it as we put this thing to a close?
The only thing I want to throw out there is if you have any questions, you can call Josh at 217-671-8383 for booth rental or questions about wolf stock that's coming up on the 20th.
And I'll run down a quick list of people who made this possible, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Go right ahead.
We'd like to thank Jake's Furnishings, Jake's Furnishings, Illini Bank, State Bank of Lincoln, Sal Polis at Edward Jones Investments, Steve Harvey, your country insurance agent, Bennett Builders, Brad Luckhart with Nuthatch Hill Barbecue, Lincoln Chrysler Dodge, and Blades Hair and Nail Salon. The list is real long of supporters. These are some of our main ones, and I know I've omitted some. Check us out on Facebook. The event page is called Wolf Stock, all capitalized letters, Wolf, WOOF, Stock, STOCK, Humane Society fundraiser, September 20th, 10 to 3, Latham Park. Come out, come hungry, and bring your pets and your kids and get ready to have a real fun day. We'll have live music. the Lincoln College Jazz Band will be playing in the gazebo there at Latham Park.
They are awesome.
Yep, that'll be something to see. So I think there'll be a little something for everyone. Even if you aren't a pet lover, I'm sure you like a ribeye sandwich and maybe some music and a glass of wine. And come out and support your local businesses and entities. They are what drive our community. And I think it's an opportunity for us to recognize them and to give back and take a dog home with you, maybe.
Well, I couldn't wrap it up any better than that.
That was awesome, Josh.
We do appreciate those who stepped in to help, the little list that you've read of your sponsors there. Josh Slightom, we appreciate your time this morning. It's nice to know about this project. We're talking about fitness a while ago during the course of the program, and I found one about, before it close, once again, Creekside. Boy, that's going to be a big event this weekend. Dr. Dennis Campbell had done a magnificent job. By the way, I would just speak very quickly. Lincoln Rotary Club, the service club here in town, have done a great job in cooperating with doctors. They've been out there building boardwalks. And those guys are, ladies and men are down there on their hands and knees putting boardwalks together out there. So they've done a great project. So thank you for them. Fitness. A man buys shoes to fit his feet. A woman buys shoes to fit the occasion. And on that, we will say thank you, Viewpoint. Thank you very much, Josh.
Well put. Thank you for having me. Thank you, WLCN.